Okay, now here's a smart guy. He came up with a great idea. He thought, no, just think if I sort of thought about a cool product. You know, I didn't have time to make it yet, but I'll put it on the internet and make like $100,000 in 30 days, and the people don't even have the product yet because I'll ship it even after Christmas. But people will be so excited, they'll buy it because they'll get it after Christmas, you know, and they'll get it. And I'll give them like a certificate. So like, hey, you're gonna get this, you know, put it under the tree so they know when they open it up under the tree, they say, wow, look what I'm gonna get. I'll be the first in my room, in my community to get one of these things. This is what this guy did, and it's called the Fun in a Box. It's a neat cooler, and something you take to the beach or out in the backyard. It gets everything but iron your pants. So watch this. Well, Ryan Grepper! I don't know, we should call you Ryan Blender instead. You got a cooler with a blender that makes music. It has a light in it. It opens beer for you. Everything but shine your shoes, it seems.
It's a party in a box.
What'd you call it?
A party in a box.
Party, yeah. I mean, it's a whole party right there. So you bring this to the beach or a tailgate party, and you're set. But you're really in the stage of developing, right? You got your prototype out. You're on Kickstarter raising money. And you're doing terrific, man. You got almost like 200 and something backers already that are doing this thing. But you were telling, 70%. But you were telling me that this is really an old idea of yours. You're just making a hell of a lot better, huh?
Yeah, you know, well, there's just so much room for improvement in coolers. And as I was telling you, I know how much fun it is to have a cooler with music and to have blended drinks at the beach with me, because I've invented I made both of these for myself years ago. I took my old car stereo and I put it in a cooler years ago, and that was fun. And then I took a weed whacker engine and I made my own pull start gas-powered blender. And both of these were great fun, but you know, it's been probably 4 years or so now that we've got kids since I pulled these out. And so this summer, both of them failed on me. The batteries on this giant, they were dead. And that gas-powered thing, gas was no good. And I couldn't get that started. So I said, you know what? Technology has come a long way in the last 9 years. And I'm going to make this streamlined and easy to take anytime I want to leave the house.
So you're doing this because you're a selfish guy, right?
No, you know, that's exactly it. I wanted to be able to easily show off how awesome it was any place I went. So that's how it came about.
But now everybody with tailgates, everybody has one of these things. But now somebody could have one of these things that's really useful instead of just looks like a block or something. But what's interesting to me, at least on the Kickstarter campaign, is you get this almost half off. You know, by buying it now, like for Christmas, even though you still haven't made thousands of them yet, but being one of the first on the block, you get a hell of a deal.
That's the key to Kickstarter. You say, I'm reaching out to my people, my tailgaters, the thousands and thousands of tailgaters, saying, you know what, help support this Kickstarter. Take a look at this product that you know intuitively would be so much fun at the next tailgate, and help me kickstart this into a real product. Help me make this coolest idea the coolest product, and then we get this made, and it's really win-win because I get to use that capital to kickstart this venture and pay for the tooling. There's a lot of expensive tooling and molds that go into a product of this size, and to make it as fantastic as I need to.
But they become like your investors, besides getting the first coolest blender in the world, the party in the box, they really become almost like a partner with you in doing all this. Yeah,
they kind of do, because they get to be involved from the get-go. They're kind of emotionally invested, and they say, you know what, I saw this before it existed, and I said I want this, both for the physical product and because I want to help kickstart a new product out into the world. Let me help start a new American business and help get this out in the world, and help kind of the little guy compete with the big guys. I mean, the cooler market is something in the lines of $650 million are spent in coolers every year.
Wow, that's almost $500 million just in coolers. Right, so you get 10% of that and you'll be all right, huh?
I'll take 5. I'm not a greedy person, and I'll share it with everyone.
But that's amazing. I mean, that's it's the value proposition on something like this. You get it before anybody else. You're one of the first kids on the block. But now for Christmas, even though it won't be here for Christmas, you got a neat idea where people could give it as a gift too, because you send out this special, what is it? What are you sending people?
Well, what we're doing is we're trying to make this really easy because we still need to get this product made. But what we're doing is giving you something that you can easily give to that person. No one wants to just say, here's a printout of this page and here's a picture of it. We've got a whole great looking poster that you can print out as a PDF and you can use that as a gift. And we've got a link to this special video, kind of an opening, an opening ceremony. The whole video really is really framed around what a great gift giver this person is. So really building them up, kind of taking a little bit of fun with it. But and the great thing is if you give it for Christmas, you get really 3 times the thanks of any other gift. You get thanked by the person who you're giving the gift to because it's an awesome product. So there's one. You get thanked by me because you helped kickstart my dream project and get this out into the world. So there's 2. And next August, when the cooler ships and shows up at their house, and they open up the box and they say, this is fantastic. Come over for some cocktails.
You're getting thanked again. But you've been doing this for a long time, Ryan, haven't you? I mean, inventing ideas. And do you consider yourself a professional inventor or what?
You know, I do. I think when I've licensed over a half dozen products. I brought a couple products to market on my own. One of those was that luggage scale that was in SkyMall for a couple of years. And I've been wanting to help other people. I've been wanting to learn more about this crowdfunding opportunity because it truly is such a new opportunity and it's a new pathway to get people's ideas out from their head and on to the store shelf.
Is this your first crowdfunding?
This is my first crowdfunding venture, but I really went into this trying to learn as much as I could beforehand and then also learn as much of it as I can through the process and to really take that information, understand it, and then through my Inventor Blueprint training program.
Well, even though you're not, so your Inventor Blueprint is really where you train other inventors to go through this process. So now, and you're not finished with Kickstarter yet, but you're going to be, it looks like a home run, no problem. And you have, what did you think that was the biggest surprise about doing it that you didn't know until you got halfway through it?
Well, I got to say that first day in Kickstarter is a pretty exciting process. I mean, I decided to do this. I said, let's see. This is what I want to do. I researched. We knew what we needed to do for the video. We launched, and it's that unknown. I mean, you put all this effort and energy into it, but you really don't know what's going to perform. The things you think are just home runs. We're going to really get some traffic. We're going to reach out. We're going to get connected. This is a great fit. Bring nothing. And then you think is going to really, it's like, oh yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and do that as well to help spread the word a little bit for the marketing. That's the home run thing, and that's what ends up bringing you a lot of your traffic. So it's really this unknown. Every day you don't quite know who's going to pick you up, what media outlet might be running a story, who's mentioned you in a blog, what kind of traffic is coming in, and then we're always testing everything else we can to just.
So in other words, all the things you're saying that all the things you thought were going to be really home runs weren't, but then other things that you didn't even know about came.
Yeah, I mean that when you look at and you research some of these other Kickstarter campaigns, some say, okay, all of our traffic came from Facebook. Other ones say all of it came from Twitter. Other ones say all of it came from reaching out to our friends. And other people say, I don't have a clue where it went. We just launched it, and then somehow we have 6 figures in funding. Right. And that's a little bit of the surprise because you just need to be able to, I think with any crowdfunding launch, you need to be able to go into it with a strategy for how you're going to drive traffic to your page. Because that's one thing that Kickstarter or Indiegogo or any other platform isn't there to give you that traffic. You've got to make sure you're bringing it in, but also you've got to be able to adapt on a daily basis because you never know what's going to work and what needs some tuning and what you can do to keep driving that.
So, to me, it sounds like the bottom line is just effort, man. You just got to be doing something, even though you don't know what the hell works.
Yeah. It's every day you got to do something and get feedback from others. I mean, that's one of the most valuable tools you can do. And that's a great thing about Kickstarter and crowdfunding in general is that when you launch your product, you're getting that feedback on your idea. You might think this is the greatest idea in the world, but when people are actually, voting with their wallet, That's the most sincere review you can get.
That's why I hate about showing my stuff to friends and family. They never bought my kind of stuff anyway. What? Go to the real customers, see what they say. If they put up money, man, you got a winner. So that's why Kickstarter, you not only got the money to do one, you know this is sellable. You know, and because you already sold it, and you got hundreds and hundreds of people who bought this thing, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly. We actually did something that was kind of fun this last week, and I went down and we took our coolest prototype to a couple of tailgates.
Oh.
Man, these are our target market. We said, okay, we know that there's a big market in tailgate. This is a great fit, and that was again that validation. So it was just kind of one of these marketing strategies to get the eyeballs there, was going out into the physical world and showing it off.
Right in the lion's den, asking what the people like tailgating is all about. Well, that's terrific, Ryan. It's just a wonderful product. There's so many great things, and it's wonderful to hear that you've been using something like this for years and finally want to share it with everybody else. And also, you said that you're going to give instructions on how people make this themselves, right?
When I first started this thing, I said, you know what? This is something that I'm making for myself, but I actually captured images along the entire process of putting the first prototype together. Right. And because one of my favorite websites for teaching other people how to do things is a site called Instructables. It's a great DIY site.
Right. No, that's right. I'm going to look at it now. I think that what you're doing, sharing that information with people, is a wonderful thing from the heart to give. This is not only money, it's just what you really want to do in life. But to get to your thing, it's coolestkickstarter.com, right?
That'll take you right there.
Yeah, and for Christmas you get a big discount. Make your friends happy. Anybody who likes to go to a tailgate party, they need this, because they could also get their car Simonized and their pants.
Yeah. Well, or those campers, or anyone who's into smoothies and health drinks, or
outside in the back, you don't have electricity. You got it all.
I mean, hey, even if you're this far from the TV, you can just make your drinks right here.
Yeah, a good lazy guy like me. Thank you so much, Ryan. Take care. And that's coolestkickstarter.com, right?
That's it. We'll see you there.
Okay, thank you.
See, now that's one way to make $125,000 in like 30 days, and you don't even have anything to do for it yet. And that's what this life is, going on the internet and doing things like that, and thinking of new creative ways to do things. It's a whole different world out there, and you just got to learn how to use it and start writing this tagger that's out there and take advantage of it.